the Niners signed a linebacker. They added a player to their defense. I know you're shocked. Linebacker De'Vondre Campbell, coming from the Packers, 31 years old, was an all-pro a couple years ago. Getting a little bit older. What do you think of this signing?
Yeah, necessary one. It kind of, I mean, that's kind of why I went back to like weeks ago when I was being delusional, like, oh, Aziz. And you're like, no, he's going to be expensive. But yeah, he was expensive. A lot more expensive than I thought, which made sense. But yeah, I think this is a necessary one, right? It's obvious Jared Greenlaw is probably not going to be ready by week 1. That'd be astonishing that he's going to be ready. Like, what is that? 7 months away since he tore it and then had surgery. Probably looking more like October, November kind of range, at least from us, like seeing players coming back from Achilles. So yeah, necessary placeholder. Kind of sucks as not Eric Kendricks. I like him way better. I know Kendricks not like the same type of caliber player he was 4 years ago. Same thing as Campbell. He's not the same kind of player it seems like he was a year or two ago. But yeah, it's a necessary one. I think for the 49ers is you can't just like put your chips on the table on your young guys you have and Jalen Graham and D Winters, right? It's just what happens if they have a mistake, and that's probably going to happen. And we all know that Kyle Shanahan is not the guy who's very tolerant with these young guys to really hit the ground with some stumbles. If you're not hitting the ground running with more than a couple stumbles, you're out. That's one thing I thought about why you have to go for these veterans at a linebacker placeholder for Greenlaw is like, he's not going to wait for that drop off for them to be molded. All these rookies, the reason why they've done so well, why they've hit is because they've either hit the ground running or he's not willing to wait for them to hit those speed bumps. So necessary one, and what's to be expected after Kendricks bailed on them.
I suppose he's a better player than Oren Burks, but I don't know how much better he is at this point. And I feel like relying on a little bit of Campbell and a little bit of Greenlaw this year might backfire. So it's not the end. It's not the last. It doesn't have to be the last move at this position, is what I'm saying. They need another linebacker. If they were to draft one in round 2 or round 3, that would make a lot of sense to me. More sense than just rolling with a 32-year-old and a guy coming off an Achilles. Not to reduce them to that, but that's what it is.
It's risky. It's definitely risky. And you're bringing in a guy who doesn't know your system and stuff like that, which he claims on Instagram, like, oh, I was getting used wrong. This offense is going to help me. My takeaway, look, it's not like I'm a Campbell expert, but my takeaway from looking at his build and just like a handful of like highlights and other plays like I've seen from him is he's slow. He looks slow to me, laterally especially. And what's one thing that the 49ers defense, especially their linebackers, have always been elite with throughout the years, even going back to Harbaugh, play speed. That play speed, like coming out of the cannon. So with him, it's like, what's he going to do in pass coverage? Run defense will probably be fine, probably. Pass defense is a little bit like, okay, you might get targeted a little bit there. But I think the Niners will be okay with that. And at least like you bring them in to be your contingency for these young guys, or maybe a placeholder for those young guys who won't be ready yet. I'm honestly not on board with drafting one. That feels like a really overreaction to Greenlaw and what you have right now for a 1-year deal. But then again, who knows if Greenlaw is going to be the same player? I would like to bank that he is. But I feel like round 2 is a little early. I feel like you drafted all these guys and like picked them up. Like you guys are there's one position you guys are pretty adept at is finding linebackers. Like I feel like every year they're always trading someone, or you cut them and someone picks them up the very next day. So let's see what's up with Jalen Graham and D Winters.
It's true. Those guys were D Winters was a 6th-round pick. Jalen Graham was a 7th-round pick. I'm not saying give up on them, but a lot of times you're drafting special teams players at that spot, and if they turn into starters, that's great. What you have at the linebacker spot right now is Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw, maybe older De'Vondre Campbell.
Put some respect on
so
name, clown.
You got Flanagan. So yeah, I mean, I'm cool with them taking a linebacker, but it kind of feels like they handled that. I mean, like you said, they got Flanagan Fowles and De'Vondre Campbell.
Not a needle mover, but what are you going to do? You're not. First of all, what kind of market was out there? You're not going to cash out on a Bobby Wagner, right?
They wanted Eric Kendricks. Kendricks would have been better.
Kendricks, I agree. Kendricks would have been better. I like Kendricks. I'm a big fan of his. I think, yeah, definitely would have been better. But he said, nah, I'm going to go to a place where no state I'm going to get taxed. They're probably paying me more, familiarity. And look, I think the biggest thing is he's going to be an indefinite starter over there. You come to the 49ers, you're not an indefinite starter here. Because if, God forbid, you're playing bad towards the end and Dre Greenlaw's ready, bye. I mean, not bye, but like, there's a reduction. Especially when you're on a 1-year deal, right? Doesn't it make more sense to be a full-time starter so you get more tape and look impressive so you bank on yourself the next year? So Kendrick made sense. It just sucks with the 49ers. You got duped by quote-unquote one of your rivals in the Cowboys.
Yeah, it's like what they're offering the linebackers. Hey, why don't you can start here until Greenlaw gets back, which it could be next year or week 2. So, I mean, what do you think? And Campbell took that. And Kendricks thought about it and didn't. Got a 2-year deal with Dallas. So, seems like the best the Niners could get given what they were offering. And probably they would prefer one of these young linebackers to step up, but they were really late picks. They were really late picks. And given how important linebackers are to this defense and defenses in general in modern NFL with all those passes going over the middle, I really wouldn't be against them drafting a linebacker. And they drafted Reuben Foster in round 1. So they should go sign Reuben Foster. What is he doing these days, and why can't they sign him?
Shut the... Look, I'm gonna
Patrick Willis should take one for the team. He's not even that old. Sure, he's in the Hall of Fame.
Well, how many teams can say they've signed a Hall of Famer? Nobody. You know what though? Actually, like you saying the draft, like reminded me of our topic last week about what do we think are the round 1? What position do you think or should the 49ers go after? And honestly, I'm gonna rescind my answer. I'm gonna say pick anything, just get it freaking right. I don't care if it's freaking a corner or wide receiver, because you know why? This team sucks in drafting the first round. Sucks.
Yeah.
And they're bad at drafting the first round. Like, I don't care if it's defensive line, like you said. I don't care if it's find someone that you can say this guy's our starter for the next 5 years and likely an extension. Because
don't draft for need at all. Don't draft for need. Do your best to draft a player who doesn't suck in round 1. Any position.
So that's simple, right? But to me, I think honestly, it's basically just goes down as simple as like, honestly, I'm at the point where after Kinlaw's gone now, it's like, I don't care what position you draft. Just get the right pick so we can go back and like, yeah, that's good. You found a good starter for this many years. Cool. Like, probably wasn't your position to need, but hey, you hit on him. Like, just find the right player, because your hit rate is terrible. Matter of fact, your first, second, and third rounds have been pretty bad. If you really want to, your day 1 and 2 picks, it's your day 3 picks that are somehow really good. I wonder who has the most say on day 1 and day 2.
I wonder who was picking players on day 3, and is he still on the team? I guess we'll see.
I don't think so.
Mandy says Grant is my daddy for real. I just want to say that Mandy has a YouTube channel called Man Talk Sports, and I was over at my brother's house last night drinking whiskey, watching this dude. He's hella funny. And I'm not just saying that so he won't roast me, because he roasts me a lot. And he roasts all of us content creators. And he's just so unimpressed with us. It's hilarious. So I want to shout him out. Hey, thanks for watching. I'll be watching your stuff, dude. You're hilarious. A nice addition to the content creator community. Someone who just really thinks we all suck.
He's officially the reason why I'm discouraged to start my own YouTube channel now.
Exactly. Because he's going to be all over you.